We've extensively covered the original DS and a multitude of gems hiding in the system's vast library, but today we thought we'd flick on our 3D sliders and take a look at a few of our favourite underrated gems on the Nintendo 3DS.
Sota-kun. 彼はこの星で生まれた奇跡の男の子だよ。ソータはこの時まだ自らの身に降りかかる運命のいたずらに気づいていなかったのでした。そう、今日は怪獣が出る金曜日だったのです。
A small title with big mysteries and even bigger monsters. I present to you Attack of the Friday Monsters, a game that tells the story of a young boy living in Tokyo during the 1970s where every Friday his neighborhood is attacked by some ginormous monsters. This game excels in capturing the magic of being a happy-go-lucky child and the wonderment that comes with being so young. Exploring the city, talking to all the eccentric locals, and collecting/battling cards against the neighborhood kids while trying to figure out what's going on with those damn Friday monsters is endlessly charming and just has an air of discovery unmatched by most games with a far bigger budget. The game is short and sweet and doesn't outstay its welcome, but those few hours are so immersive, so whimsical and relaxing that it really does just feel like the game's captured the magic of your childhood just in pixel form, and it's a real treat to experience because of it. Another treat is that the game is bursting with tons of retro pop culture references, so trust me, this is a short journey you are going to want to take.
こうして人類の歴史に刻まれたあの伝説の金曜日が始まったのです。
So, kid, you think you have what it takes to be a ranger? I've seen how you roll. You got guts, but you're gonna need more than that to beat them. See, the rocks are coming.
Dylan's Rolling Western is a game of two halves, and the only other game like it may be Brutal Legend, if Brutal Legend was made by Nintendo. You see, just like that game, Rolling Western starts as more of an action title in the vein of Zelda, with all the exploring, collecting, and combat you would expect. But then things go a bit weird when nighttime comes, as the game transforms into an explosive tower defense style battle of survival, as you must protect various towns full of critters from the enemies that come at night. So essentially during the day you'll be zipping around collecting parts and fortifying your defense in a rush against time before night falls, and then when it does, you will not only be managing the town's defense and reinforcements, you will be on the ground getting up close and personal too. It's a lot to take on, but this risk and reward, tense merging of game genres is incredibly exhilarating, and the accomplishment of saving each town you come across is immense. Special mention also goes to the crazy, western, critter-themed world of the game too, which is extremely unique and charming. I know the show is popular as all hell, but it seems everyone forgets about the incredible handheld Attack on Titans game, and I urge you not to sleep on this one, as the blisteringly fast human versus colossal monster battles are fully realised here, just in portable glory. The game's main story mode follows along with the rich, nuanced, and layered story of the show, and has you taking part in many of the iconic battles from the series. But the game shines brightest in its world mode, which sees you create your own soldier, take on the missions you want to, and level up your gear how you want to. It's such a joy to build your character into the ultimate titan slaying machine. But trust me, it really doesn't matter if you're a fan of the show or not, as using the vertical moving gear to dash around fully 3D environments like Spider-Man, while bringing titans to their knees with precise slashes to the right body parts just so you can land the killer blow to the back of the neck is so gratifying and immensely therapeutic. It may only be perfect for short bursts, but those short bursts are a bloody good time for some much needed stress relief. LBX, or Little Battler's experience, just cries out to my inner child by mixing the best elements of games like Pokemon and adding in some extremely creative and cool mini mechs that feel like they were ripped straight out of Gundam. That's a combo you just can't ignore, and I urge you not to, as even though this may seem aired towards a younger audience, there is a ton of strategy and depth involved in every aspect of this title. Everything from the arena battles to the incredible amount of customization options for your little robot. There's just so much to think about and tinker with and do. It's just honestly so addictive and leads to a game that has every gamer's playstyle catered to. So just get imaginative as you want with your mini robot. The story also isn't just catered for kids, and is actually really engaging and takes its wild concept deadly serious, which, considering it involves super destructive, massively armed, tiny death machines, is a nice touch that goes a long way to keep players of all ages engaged. But to break this down simply, BLX takes all the addictive collecting elements and silly yet engrossing stories of the likes of Pokemon or even Metabots, and throws in the strategic combat and stat management of something like the heavily underrated custom robo games to give us gamers something truly special.
Here it is, our final mission, with the fate of the world hanging in the balance. Who knew we'd end up here? Back then, I never would have dreamed it would come to this.
Robots, marines, and a massive arsenal of varied weapons, wrapped up in a B-movie-esque robot invasion story, gives us Ironfall Invasion, a meaty and bombastic third-person cover-based shooter that gives us some strong Gears of War vibes. That's not a bad thing, however, as just like Gears of War, the snappy controls, meaty gunplay, and relentless horde of varied enemies that make each encounter a dance of tactical maneuvers and a shower of bullets is fully implemented here. But unlike Gears, this game is portable. When you're not running for cover and choosing your shots wisely, the game offers up some nice variety to its gameplay, with some light puzzles, mandatory turret sections, and even a few beastly bosses. And while the story is nothing to shout home about, it is accompanied by some seriously OG Resident Evil cheesiness in the dialogue department that had me smiling and laughing throughout. Special mention has to go to the graphics and lighting within this title, as they are an absolute standout and may be up there with the best on the system. Which is even more impressive when you consider the whole thing runs at a smooth 60 frame rates per second too. I'm not sure there's any other title like it on the system, so it's time you gave this one a go. Lastly, we have Creeping Terror, a horror-infused, tense, puzzle platforming-esque title that feels like you're playing a cheesy and campy retro horror movie brought to life. The game's story centers around a bunch of dumb teens that go to try and capture footage of some paranormal nasties, only to find themselves fleeing and hiding for their life. It's a fun story with some interesting characters, both which can be even more fleshed out by seeking out notes scattered throughout the game. The game's graphics are extremely unique and give the game some storybook horror flair, and the sound design gives the game a truly haunting ambience. The combat and gameplay may only boil down to exploring, stunning enemies, and hiding, but the retro horror vibes that permeate throughout the title will keep you hooked and emotionally attached to the silly yet lovable characters. Add the fact there are various endings depending on your actions, and you have a short yet devilishly sweet title for a platform that wasn't graced with many good horror experiences.